Hello, everybody, and welcome to Journey Talks with Joel and Jenna. This is our podcast channel. If you haven't subscribed to us already, please do below. If you have, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy our podcast. We talk about everything from drinking coffee to climbing Mount Everest to swimming the seas, and our asshole cat that will be showing up quite frequently in our videos. So please enjoy him. He's a handful, but he's very interesting. Today's episode is going to be about things that scare you, pushing your limits, and consequences of doing so.
Everything in between.
Everything in between. Personal stories, and you'll get the drift of it.
Do you want to go first?
I will go first. We're going to start out with things that scare us. For me, it's insects is like the biggest thing. Like I'm okay with spiders and snakes, but like cockroaches.
Cockroaches scare the hell out of you.
I hate cockroaches. Jenna scares me quite frequently too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very jumpy.
I'm a prankster.
Yeah, she's more so the prankster.
I love to hide and scare you when you're not ready.
Or just like scare me when I'm getting dressed or something. So that scares me. It's just mostly insects with a lot of legs I don't like, and everybody's fear of being alone when there's nobody around. And you just kind of run to your room because nothing's chasing you, but you think there is.
It's like at night.
Yeah, even if you haven't watched like a scary movie or anything, you just kind of run. And it's just like you feel like something's right behind you, but there isn't.
There might be.
Other than that, I'm not really afraid of too much. Like, would you say anything else for me? Like, what am I afraid of? I don't like losing, so I'm afraid of losing.
Yeah, you're definitely not afraid of heights, or you're not afraid of anything like climbing, scaling a wall.
Adrenaline, really.
Anything adrenaline, you're obsessed with.
Yeah.
You're an adrenaline junkie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of things that scare you are cockroaches. That's like your biggest fear.
I hate them. Hate them.
And I don't know. Like that's.
I'm not afraid of a lot of stuff.
You're afraid of the ocean.
Open water, big time.
Open water.
Even if it's a lake, like it's just like you don't know what's under you. Like you look at Scotland, and you think of the Loch Ness monster. It's like, who was the guy who took the picture and was like, yeah, I'm not going in this lake. Like, what could be underneath you in Lake Ontario? Some like 3-eyed goat coming up. And, I don't know. You never know.
Nibbling your toes off.
Something like that. My leg, my arm. God.
That's funny. Yeah, but you like to scuba dive.
But if I can see the bottom, I don't care what's in the water. As long as I can see what's in the water as I'm swimming. That
makes sense.
That's like, I don't know. It's just like when my head's above the water and I'm just like bobbing like a fishing lure.
Bait?
I'm a piece of a shark bait.
Goat. So are you afraid of sharks?
No, I'm not afraid of sharks.
Okay.
I'm afraid of not knowing that there's a shark underneath me.
Gotcha.
But I'm not afraid of an actual shark.
Okay. So if you saw a shark swimming at you, you wouldn't be afraid?
No. As long as I could see it. Because I get punched in the nose or the gill or whatever you're supposed to do.
I would be afraid. I'm afraid of being attacked.
I don't think so.
I'm afraid of being attacked by any animal. Whether
it's like
a spider, an ant.
No, it's like being outside and thinking that someone's going to attack you. If you can see them, you have time to fight or flight, right? It's your reflex.
Yeah, that's true.
You have time to be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to punch it in the nose or I'm going to swim away or try to swim away, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know it's there, there's like a robber behind you. It's like
he just comes up and
like hits you in the side of the head and says, "Give me your wallet." You don't have time to react.
Yeah, Charlie's scared.
Charlie's scared of everything.
He's always jumpy.
Yeah, he's a jumpy cat.
I don't know. See, I'm afraid of. I would rather something attack me and me not see it than watch it attack me. See, I'm opposite.
But then you wouldn't even have time to react. Yeah, like you wouldn't even you could fight it, but you don't.
But my reaction because you're like, is fear.
Just eat me.
So I feel like if a robber came into the house and tried to fight me or whatever, I would be the person that like cowered down
and like hide under the sheets because you can't see me here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight back. I don't think.
See, I'm the opposite. Like
I would fight back if I had a gun or something that I
could, like for me,
like shoot.
If I know it's in the house, like you wouldn't even know if Robert's in the house anyway. She could sleep through a bomb, and
I'm a pretty heavy sleeper.
Yeah, but I have machetes under the bed, under the mattress, so I'm ready to fight if I know he's there.
See, I don't have to worry about fighting because you'll fight. You'll fight them off for me.
Oh, what if you're here by yourself?
I'm never here by myself.
Yes, you are.
Not at night.
If I'm at work. I don't know. Shit out of luck, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would fight back as soon as they came in fighting distance. But like in between that time of them running at me and then them actually fighting me is straight fear. It's never happened, so I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would fight back because I don't know what my adrenaline would kick in. I don't know what would happen, but
yeah, I guess it's fair.
Just from like my mental standpoint, I think I would.
So
I would be
other than like getting attacked by a shark, what are you afraid of?
I hate to say this because
or things that scare you.
We do a lot of it, but I think I'm afraid of heights. But heights in terms of like being on a cliff and looking over, I'm afraid that someone's gonna come up behind me and push me over. Like I'm afraid of falling.
Like who?
I don't know. Wind. The wind can whisk me over. I'm afraid of falling.
The wind. You would need a gale force to push you off.
I know, but even recently, like yesterday when we were doing this hike, we were walking through this trail, and the trail is literally like centimeters from the edge, and it's like what 30 feet down. I was getting blurry vision. Like I was feeling.
Ooh, got double vision.
Yeah, you know, like when you're walking on the
side
I love
of a cliff. That's the opposite.
It's like you get tunnel vision, and everything beside you goes blurry.
That means you're focused.
That's not focused. That's scary because then I can't focus on what's around me, and then I get dizzy, and you lose everything that you knew about balance isn't true anymore, and you can't even stand. It's like you become a baby deer, and you're walking on the side of a cliff.
On ice?
Yeah.
On ice.
That's what I feel like. My legs don't
work.
work.
On ice.
I think that's a fear of heights. But
you're also afraid of flying now too. But that's like recent.
No, I don't know why. I'm going crazy.
Probably. We all are though, so.
Well, I used to love flying.
Because it was exciting. Now it's just kind of like you do it.
Well, yeah, like I've flown a lot, but it's also too just overthinking situations, which I've done.
Like things that are going to happen. You predict the future.
Yeah.
Should be like a medium.
I hope I don't predict the future. I hope things gonna happen doesn't happen. Yeah. That's why I'm afraid of flying. It's not that I'm afraid of flying. I'm afraid of what could happen while I'm flying. But it's weird because
why you don't get fed by the flight attendants? That's a big fear. We've gone like 5 hours and been like, I just want my crackers and my juice.
I know. Where's my little cookies?
No.
Cookies and terrible coffee.
And then I just thought about snakes on a plane, but you're deathly afraid of snakes. Like, yes. You hate snakes.
But I had a bad experience with snakes.
What? You're still here.
That doesn't matter. This experience traumatized me forever.
Traumatizing experience.
When I was in 7th grade, grade 7, whatever country you're from, we went on this field trip to the beach. And it was a science, like, it was a school field trip, but it was mostly focused on,
We went on a school field trip to the beach.
We did. That's what you do in South Georgia. We were in St. Simon's Island. We were learning about, I don't even know what we were learning about. It was kind of all over the grid. It was, like, a little bit about animals, water, germs. Anyways, I could be remembering it all wrong.
People watching
all I remember from this trip is we went into the reptile room where we got to see like baby alligators, snakes, turtles, like everything that has a shell or scales, we got to see and hold them. We were holding the snake, and one of my friends had braids in, and she was so cool letting the snake crawl up her neck, letting it, like she was holding it, being nice, like putting it near her face. I wasn't deathly afraid of snakes.
That kind of thing.
I held the snake, so I was like kind of hesitant, but I wasn't deathly afraid yet. So the snake gets caught in her braid, to make a long story short, and cannot get out. So it starts hissing, like it has its mouth open. You can see its little baby fangs.
Cobra?
Yeah. Again, I could be remembering this all wrong, but this is my memory. And this is what
traumatizing experiences are always like a fish story. They just get, I caught this fish that got bigger and bigger and bigger.
I know, but I still remember thinking this snake is going to bite me because I'm sitting next to her, or it's going to bite her. Like, there was a picture of me and my friend, like, like this. You're the girl with the snake in her hair, and we're like this, freaking out because of the snake.
See, that's the thing, you can't freak out.
It's like a little garden snake. I'm pretty sure it was green. And it has traumatized me forever. When I see a snake on the ground,
we were in
I will cry.
Scottsdale, Arizona, and we went on this little hike.
This was bad.
We had been up, like 25 minutes or so hiking up the side of this mountain, and
hot as hell.
It was hot, but in Arizona they have this snake called the Western Diamondback, and I'm definitely sure you've heard of it, because it's the desert rattlesnake. And I never saw it, and Jenna just goes like freezes and can't move. She was just like she could have been at Madame Tussauds, honestly. Like, just
I think anyone who sees a Western Diamondback rattlesnake is going to freeze in their tracks.
Well, sure, but like it wasn't that close. It was close, but it wasn't like crazy close. But she points it out, and I was like, "Whoa, that's cool. That's amazing." And she was just like, so I cracked her off the ground and just had to carry her down the mountain, kind of. But it was just like that. Like, it was just like one of those traumatizing experiences for her. But I was like, picture.
I know, you got pretty close, and I was thinking, this dude is crazy. Mind you, I'd only known you for like 6 months.
And you didn't think I was crazy when I first met you?
I mean, yeah, but when you walk to your death, that's a little crazy.
I'm just picking up a friend.
Yeah, right. Not a nice one.
No, he's nice. How do you know? He never attacked. He could have been a nice Western Diamondback.
I'll give you that, but still, I was still frozen, so.
Yeah, it's just like frozen to death.
That's what happens. When I get afraid, I freeze.
Yeah, see, when I get afraid, that's kind of like pushing your limits, though. Like.
But that's a different kind of fear. Like,
but it's not fear, it's just...
No, like, when you push your limits, or you say, I push my limits, or I'm going to push my limits, you know your fear, and you're ready to conquer that fear.
Well, that, and there's pushing your fear to a certain extent. Like, you should know your limit. Like, for me...
Yeah.
For me, doing scary things, or things that scare the shit out of me, I love doing that. I love things that scare the crap out of me because you know your limits, yeah. Because I know my limits, but it's just fun. I'm just filled with adrenaline.
Classify it as fun.
I think it's fun. I enjoy it. I always smile when I get down. Like, I get down, I'm like, yeah, or like.
True.
You know what I mean? Like jumping rock to rock over the Grand Canyon, and being out there, I was like, it's like one of the best experiences. I was like, woo!
See, when I was on the edge, I had that tunnel vision where I couldn't see anything but my feet.
Just straight fall.
And that makes you lose your balance. I don't know why. What is that?
That's you.
That's you.
For me, it really makes me concentrate. Like,
no, see, I lose everything.
Jenna and I were at the Grand Canyon a couple years ago on our road trip, and we went to the south rim. Mm-hmm. And there was this one spot where you could walk out, and it was literally this like 1.5 foot wide section that I wanted to sit on. That was an overhang that just went like 3,000 feet down, and I wanted to sit on it. And I walked out and I climbed down, and Jenna and this guy are like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, you're gonna die!" Like, because it was wet and it was slippery. But I was like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
It was raining that day. It was a pretty bad storm.
Yeah, and there was like nobody there except a couple people. And I went out to that spot and I was like, yeah, that's like pushing the limits, but it's enjoyable for me. A little bit. No.
See, I don't like pushing my limits when I know that there could be a serious consequence, like death. That's a little too
But
far.
that's where
But
adrenaline
I don't know,
kicks
because
in.
like I've gone skydiving, I've done a lot of things that could have resulted in.
Rock climbing, you can die.
I know.
But you feel safe because you have a harness.
But I mean, like, I'm not gonna go hop around a cliff edge when I know that rock could fall and I could go with it. You know what I mean?
But it did.
But it didn't, but it could. And that's also.
Come on, Grandma.
I know, I'm just trying to justify my fear.
I guess. To a certain extent, though, because, like, when I do it, I think about those things, but they're so small compared to the victory or pride you get from achieving or accomplishing something that big. It's not even like an accomplishment, it's just like something to say, like, when I was at the Grand Canyon, I was out on this ledge and it was like one of the best experiences of my life. Just being like,
Also, though, to play like the other side of the story, I've said I have been on the edge of the Grand Canyon, and that is not a lie. I have been on the edge of the Grand Canyon. I just haven't been on the edge like you have. So why would I
see,
put myself in a higher risk when I can still tell the same exact story?
yeah, but like pushing
Think about
boundaries
that.
is a personal story too,
I know.
right? So some people have their exaggeration of being on the edge of a cliff and being like, I was inches and I was hanging off,
Yeah,
but they were actually just standing there.
but you don't know.
But I have the personal experience of actually being on the edge and being like, this is a spot. Like for you, Jenna gets close enough that she knows she could fall off, but there's not a high chance that she's going to.
Right.
For me, I get to a point where there's a high chance of me high chance of me falling off.
And you haven't yet.
But I haven't yet. So for me, that extra little bit
I
is
feel like
what
most people are like me.
yeah,
Well, I don't know.
I
'Cause a
feel
lot of people won't.
successful. I feel successful and accomplished when I achieve something like, wow, this is like really close, as opposed to like, you know what, like I could go further. But that's just personal, right?
But there's also, I feel like there's 3 levels, maybe 4.
There's more than
Actually,
4.
maybe 5. There's the people who don't even get close to the fence because they're
My
deathly
mother.
afraid of heights. There are people who get close to the fence and just stick to the boundaries. If there's a fence, they won't cross it, they enjoy the view, and they're completely satisfied with what they have. Then there's me, where we'll jump the fence, we'll go over, but we're not gonna be at high risk. It's like we understand there is risk going over the fence, going past the boundaries. That's enough. I have more control over.
That's enough for you.
I have more control over the situation when in that instance. And then there's people like you who push it a little too far.
But I take pride in that. That's
me.
me. That's my level of
That's
scary
just you.
shit.
That's just
Scary
you.
shit. Like that's just me. I feel that adrenaline and I take it and I'm just like it's just I don't know. Like if I see a waterfall, I'm not just gonna yeah, look at it. I'm gonna climb to the top to be able to see it. But see, I would be at the top of the waterfall trying to jump across the waterfall on rocks right next to the edge.
Right, and I'll look at it from I'll touch the water from the top, but I'm not gonna jump onto the rock unless I know it's okay.
Unless it's like it's sturdy.
But see, like I also don't get like personal success or feeling out of doing something like that. My success comes from like when I think of pushing my limits, I think of like doing anything to achieve my goal. I'm very goal oriented, and that doesn't mean like when I think of I want this picture, like I want to take this exact picture, I will push my limits to get that picture if it means I got something that I want.
For me, I'm more so like
you just like the feeling of
no. When I have a goal in mind, I want to reach my goal and go a little bit further because that's what gives me most satisfaction.
But your goals are more so like experiences. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of you want to experience
this. Like if I have a rope swing that's 40 feet high, I want to go higher. Right. I want to go higher. If I'm in a car and I'm going down a racetrack at 150 miles an hour, I want to go 160. I want to go 170. See, I push my goal every time, but I still have that sense of this is far enough. Yeah. You know, but that's far enough for me is well surpassing 90% of other people. Yeah. But I know there's tons of other people like me and people that have gone way further than I have that makes me want to be like, I want to push it. I want to push it. But at the same time, my like max could be someone's minimum. You know what I mean? True. Someone out there is going to be like, what is that? Let's go, you know?
Some maniac, yeah.
And there are people, like I watch those videos of those people jumping skyscrapers in Dubai. Yeah. And they're like riding skateboards on the edge of the building. And I'm like, I would never do that. Yeah. And it makes my palms sweat when I watch it.
I'm sweating right now just thinking about it.
But my limit is, you know, that's past my limit. Yeah. Like I would be over the edge and I would, let's say, clip into the top and hang off. And that's well surpassed other people's limits. But for me, it's, you know, that's kind of my limit.
Yeah, it's like the people riding bikes on the top of cranes. Yeah.
No. Did you see that lady this morning in Toronto? Climbs the crane. Yeah. And comes down the cable and sits and it gets stuck on the crane. She's sitting up there for 2.5 hours just holding on to the cable, like looking around. She was taking selfies and everything up there.
Oh my God.
But she got taken into police custody in Toronto.
Good. Don't be that dumb. Stupid. That's just dumb. Like.
But that's almost past me because I would never, like, she had no gloves on, sliding down a steel cable to a ledge without dying or falling.
Well, yeah, because she just slid down it. It's not like she had to hold on.
She just slid down a crane. Okay, rocked across the top of a crane and slid down a cable just to get to this spot. Oh yeah, life is good. My hands are fine.
Now she's stuck.
No, she's not stuck anymore. But
I don't think she should get maybe like charged for trespassing. But like,
trespassing, yeah.
I mean, if you want to do that, by all means, go for it.
I see that's past my limit. Yeah. But she was probably like, "Oh, I'll just go up here," and never expected to slide down a cable.
How is that okay?
But she didn't look like she was going up there to do that. She just, like, she's wearing this, like, jeans and a jacket.
I haven't seen the picture.
She's just sitting there, literally, like, on the edge of this thing, holding onto the cable with one arm, and she's just, like, looking around, chilling out.
People are crazy, man.
Oh, she's fucking nuts.
That's insane.
Here, I'll show you this picture.
I couldn't do it. I could trespass. I have no problem with trespassing. Like, I get a little bit of adrenaline when I walk past a no trespassing sign. It's the fact of I could climb the crane.
It just looks so silly.
I could climb the crane. I don't think I could walk across it. I don't know.
There she is.
Oh my God.
She was just literally sitting on the crane up there. Slid down the cable and just sat up there.
That's a long way to slide.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, my hands are fine.
Did anyone
it's like 40 feet of rappelling without equipment on a steel cable.
I don't know.
And people are just taking pictures of her from the ground being like, hey, what are you doing?
Maybe she's a pole dancer. Maybe she has experience with...
I don't know. This is just ridiculous. I don't know if you can see this picture. I'll put it up to the camera quick.
No, I'll just put it in.
Okay. But that's her. Look.
Just insane.
Just sitting there.
Did someone go with her or did she go by herself?
By herself. See, what is the motive?
Okay. I don't understand that because when you're doing something to that extent, document it. Like, I want to see you climbing the whole damn thing. Like, I want to see how you rappelled down that steel wire, whatever it is.
Someone had to have seen it because someone called her in from the ground and been like, I think this person's, like, jumping.
Oh, yeah. See, that
right? Because that's scary to see.
Maybe she was.
She climbed up at 5:30 in the morning. Like, it was dark out. And then they didn't... No one saw her until, like, 8 o'clock. And then they got her at 8 o'clock.
See, that's even scarier to me. I would want to do it in the day. See, I don't like seeing the ground if I'm climbing that. So
Maybe she
not.
thought she was like 30 feet in the air. Just kept going.
Oh my god! And then the sun comes up, and she's like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. She was like.
This is it. I'm done.
They said she was like 15 stories or something up, like 150 feet or a little bit higher. But that picture looks like she's about 300.
I know.
Like that crane's on top of a building.
How did she get to it? How did she get past security?
It was funny because the article I read said that the police were even surprised that she had the guts to go up it. Like they weren't even upset that she
Kudos
did.
to you, girl.
Like, yeah, good job. Like, good job. You know what? We'll charge you like $50 for trespassing, but that was pretty cool. You'll probably get money for like doing it, and you'll travel the world climbing cranes.
Oh my god, give me a break.
How about that?
That actually happens.
How about that?
So lame. Just kidding, jealous.
Just kidding. I want some money.
Yeah.
Need some money.
I don't know. Something that scared me or has also traumatized me as well is when I bungee jumped.
But that contributes to the heights, the fear of heights. But it's the fear of falling too, because you can't do a backflip on a trampoline without feeling like you're falling.
I'm gonna die. It was the weirdest feeling. Like I've gone skydiving, and you really don't feel because you're so. Get down.
4.
Because you're so high up, you don't feel the gravity or the G-force. But when
there's no gravity, it's zero gravity.
Yeah, but when you feel it when the parachute comes. But it's nothing but it's bungee jumping.
You just feel it pull you back up.
I couldn't even scream. Like when I fell, I was like, like that.
Well, skydiving, I couldn't breathe either. I was.
No, skydiving was a great experience.
I don't know.
Bungee jumping was another traumatizing one.
Yeah, I bungee jumped at the West Edmonton Mall, and it's like 100 feet.
How far was mine? I bungee jumped in the.
It was like 200 and something feet in BC. So but it was over. The other thing is, it was over this huge canyon with rushing glacier water,
turquoise water.
Yeah, coming down from the mountain. So it was just like, it was gorgeous, but it was all rocky. So you're like, if you fall off this,
that's it.
See you later. Like,
it's not like bungee jumping into a pool in the Edmonton Mall, or you might break a collarbone or something,
or your leg or something. Like that's not even like serious compared to the consequences of.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed skydiving. I thought it was like, I was nervous, and we'll put this link in the description of the video. But if you haven't seen it already, Will Smith shared
technical difficulties. Sorry, we're back. Continue your story.
But everything leading up to jumping out, like the 1, 2, and everybody on 3 grabs, because it's just that mindset when you're jumping out of a plane that it's your last sense of safety, because everything
jumping
comes
out of a plane.
Yeah, but from experience too, and the way that Will describes it, he says it's the most blissful experience you've ever had in your life, and it really is, because for one brief moment you're falling and there's nothing wrong in the world, because it's just like, it's nothing like you could ever imagine or feel until you've actually jumped out, because it's just like I was so excited coming down. I didn't even have time to be upset or afraid. I was coming down and I was fist pumping, and like, you can check out my video and Jenna's video as well, skydiving. Like, I was fist pumping and having like the time of my life, and you free fall for like a minute tops.
That's a long,
but it feels like forever. But it's the greatest experience that I've probably ever had. It's just like nothing is wrong, and you're having the absolute time of your life. I would encourage everybody who's like afraid of skydiving, who wants to, or knows somebody that does, like, or get your parents to do it. It's just cool. It's just a fun thing to do.
I know I've seen a lot of people skydiving a lot more recently. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a trend, or people are just like, I want to conquer this fear. But I have seen a lot more people do it that I would have never guessed would have gone skydiving.
I think it's also like anything else too. It's not in the sense of like peer pressure, but it's like not jealousy either. It's just kind of like you see somebody go and you're like, hey, that would be cool to do that.
Well,
And then you
you
see
just hear
another
their
person
story.
go and you're like, damn, that'd be cool to do. But like, long story short, when I met Jenna, I had talked about how I was really into doing a whole bunch of adrenaline filled things. Um, Parkour, I was kind of big into at the time. I wasn't great at it, but just something to do.
Right.
In South Georgia, where there's not a whole lot of stuff to do. Not dissing anybody from down there. Jenna's from there, but there's not a whole lot of like
There's nothing there.
adrenaline filled things to do.
Yeah.
So we started talking about skydiving, and she had already gone.
Right.
And it was in like within the first couple of weeks that we were talking that I went. I went because I went by myself because you talked it up so much, and I was like, I've always wanted to do it, so I might as well go.
Yeah.
So I drove a couple hours up to Cedartown, Georgia, and
same place I went.
Same place that Jenna went, and I did it, and I was like, let's go again. And we haven't gone together, but
well, it's expensive.
It is, but it's so worth it. It's like
it is, but it's also not something that I could see myself doing every like month. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
It's not like,
I mean, if you could do it for free every month, would you do it?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely
exactly.
do it if I could.
So
do
it's about the money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the experience is amazing, but I also think that to pay that much money for it,
to do it often,
yeah, it's just not. It's not worth it.
Right. Like to pay that and do it once with the video, definitely worth it because it was your first time.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it again, go in a group. Like this is a suggestion, and what I've heard reading it off of forums and stuff like that, go in a group because they'll do a discounted group rate. Whether it be 10%, 20%, that's a big chunk off.
Do you get film with that or no?
I would assume so. There's probably a group discount with film and a group discount without.
Because see, when I went, I got the personal photographer, and
so did I. Like the guy that flies next to you.
Not dissing, like, photographers that skydive or take pictures, but when you have the camera on your head and the video camera in your hand and you're falling from the sky, you're not gonna get the person skydiving. You know what I mean? Because it's like they have you centered in the video camera, but the camera's on their head, so the camera that's taking pictures doesn't even get you in the pictures.
I got good pictures.
I did.
Maybe it was just the guy. And we're not dissing anybody because that's like that would be extremely difficult to do.
Obviously.
Like how do you practice that?
I was not impressed with the pictures that I got because I was hardly in them.
Just get video, honestly. The video was
GoPro. Get the one with the GoPro on his wrist because it's the best one. You can get screen grabs, you can get pictures.
Yeah.
And
it just takes
hell of a lot cheaper
like
too.
My video was like a minute long because they do crop a lot, or not crop, but they take a lot of it out, so they cut it. So I was kind of upset with my video because one of the best parts about skydiving for me was the chute ride, like them pulling the chute, and
that's why you get the GoPro on the wrist.
Yeah, like the dialogue with the actual tandem instructor with me.
Yeah,
because that was like the best part, being like the reaction of me being just a free fall and from 14,000 feet to 6,000 feet where he pulls the chute, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then he was like, are you in for the wild ride or the mild ride? And all this kind of stuff. And I was like, it was one of the best parts. Charlie! Hi. Hey, baby. But that was kind of like the best part for me, and we didn't get it on tape, so it was kind of upsetting. Like we got me landing, but it was like I was already on the ground.
Yeah, because the guy taking pictures also has to land, so he can't.
Well, I understand. My last moments is Joel's video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you skydive, you should just pay for the GoPro. Because I also like the girl I went with. She's been a couple times.
Get off!
Charlie! Ow! Little shithead. Damn. That scared me. No, the girl I went with, she's been a couple times, and I think the first time she went, she got the GoPro on her wrist, and then when I went with her, she paid for the actual photographer to go with her, and
he just kind of sets his paw on your shoulder.
And
get out of here, dog.
I remember her saying she like hated the video because she just had the expectation of the one from the GoPro.
Well, it was going to be good.
Where it filmed like the entire thing versus just having things pieced together. And then you miss, like you said, the best part is when the parachute's pulled and you're like looking and you're like, oh my god, the parachute worked. Like and
it's just crazy cool. Falling. It's just a crazy cool experience, just floating because your legs are dangling. It's not like a roller coaster.
It kind of hurts though.
Like, it didn't hurt me. I was just, it's like being in a backpack.
Yeah,
and just flying through the air. And he was like, you want to control the parachute? And I was like, hell yeah, like that'd be cool. So I was like pulling it and doing all these cool maneuvers and stuff. And it was just funny. Like
they probably had fake
handles and he was just like pulling them behind.
It's like when you're pushing a baby in the
He only let me do it for a couple seconds. So it was like it was real. But I was surprised how hard it was to pull. He was like, pull it. And I was like, like a conductor in a train. Just, whoo!
The guy I had was massive. Like, he was
Jenna, everybody's massive to you. You're like 5'0".
He was probably 7 foot.
7 foot. Okay, so Jonas Valanciunas was on your back. Shaq.
I'm not kidding you. I will show you a picture afterwards.
Okay.
He was massive, but it's weird to think that they have to distribute the weight. So, like, you probably had someone roughly the same. Yeah, a little bit heavier. I had someone that was a giant. Like, a little, but that made me feel safe because when I was
Andre the Giant falling from the sky.
When he was,
so you were coming in at like 300 miles an hour.
When he was my backpack, like, I was like, okay, so if this parachute doesn't pull, he can fall first and be my cushion on the ground. Would that work?
Well, probably
I think
that
would work.
I definitely don't think it would work.
I think it would work.
Think, like, if he hit the ground and you hit him, the force would be so great that his ribs would just, like, go through you. Like knives. Just.
Ew.
Ribcage
Okay,
soup.
maybe it wouldn't work.
Yeah, she didn't think about that.
No, but it was nice thinking that when I went skydiving.
Yeah.
Thinking that it would work.
But I think, like, anything you do that is adrenaline filled, like, there's always a consequence to that, but...
Not really. Because
unless you die, like, the last consequence is you dying or getting seriously injured.
It depends on what you classify as adrenaline. Like, some people may think adrenaline is walking to the edge, and that, like, they're sweating and they feel like their world's gonna end, but then they don't. There's no consequence.
Everybody has their own limit.
But your adrenaline or your description of adrenaline does have consequences.
I do agree with that, but at the same time, like I said, even though I have that limit, there might be a higher risk of consequence. But when your adrenaline is going, and I'm going to use the word adrenaline a lot because it's an important thing when it comes to scary shit. It is. Yeah. It is. Like, if you don't have adrenaline,
you're not scared.
You are scared. If you don't have adrenaline is what pushes you through that.
No, because I'm not scared right now and I have zero adrenaline. But if
I understand that, but there's no. What is your consequence right now?
Nothing. But if I were on a cliff ledge and I was fearful of falling, my adrenaline is high.
Yes.
It's really high.
But that's, for me, my adrenaline is my comfort to get over the fear of the consequence. If you know what I'm saying. Because there's always a consequence, but the adrenaline is pumping me through that. If there's, like, let's say I'm lead climbing. Lead climbing is when you have quick draw carabiners and as you go up, you're hooking in. But if you miss one, you drop down twice the distance of the last quick draw.
So if you high consequence.
High consequence. So if you miss that and you fall and you have high adrenaline, I'm more likely, if I'm scared, to make that draw than if I'm not scared, because my adrenaline is getting through, and that adrenaline is what gives you that, like, superpower almost.
Push, yeah.
But that's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's a response because you know there's a consequence or there's a potential threat. in fight or flight. Like someone's going to beat you up or kill you, or a shark's going to come up and bite you. Like people get their superhuman strength, or what they call superhuman strength, when they're high on adrenaline and their tunnel vision comes in.
Yeah.
So you're more likely to make a mistake if you're just kind of la, you know, like not.
I agree, but I can't help thinking about, like, yesterday when I was walking on this cliff. Okay, I literally lost all balance because I could see the ground and I could see how close I was. I'm more likely to make a mistake when I have no balance than I am when I'm not afraid of falling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But then again, it kind of counterbalances because when my adrenaline kicks in, like if I were to fall, I would probably catch myself.
Right.
Because my adrenaline is in. You know what I mean? Like my adrenaline was pretty high when we were scaling the wall to come down because I was really nervous about falling, but I never did. Yeah,
but again, that's also your personal comfort level as well. So I think things can have a consequence like that. But at the same time, it all begins with your comfort level to begin with. You know what I mean? Because like my comfort zone is far surpassed yours.
And also, too, I feel like it's not just in adventurous things. Like
it could be anything.
Like my comfort zone with school. Do you know how hard it was to finish my program?
No.
I know you don't because you didn't live it. But it was so hard for me that I pushed my limits so hard just to finish school. Because I'm a firm believer, and if you don't like what you're doing, get the hell out and go figure out what it is you want to do. Yeah. If you're 7, if you're 25, if you're 48 or 73, like if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're wasting time. And I haven't enjoyed school since last year. I haven't enjoyed school at all, but
you're done.
Yeah, I'm done. I pushed through it.
But you pushed through that, and that was you passing your comfort level. Your consequence was basically
I lost a little bit of time.
Well, time.
Yeah.
It was a investment, of course, as school is for everybody. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't finish, you wouldn't be able to live here because we're in Canada right now.
Yeah.
And Jenna's from the States, so
I have to go to school to live here, pretty much.
Yeah. But now she's finished, she can get a work visa.
Yeah.
Which she's gonna do.
But that was a massive push through. Like when I had my last test, or not even then, when I figured out that I passed all of my classes, I'm not worried about my co-op.
Yeah.
I love to work. I can work. That'll be just fine.
Yeah. And
it was getting through those damn classes, like pulling my teeth. I would rather have every single tooth pulled than do that again. Yeah. I would rather be toothless than have to go through that again.
If I had been Cotton Eye Joe, I've been there a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go?
I don't know. I had a good ending. There weren't many consequences to finishing school.
Yeah.
It's done. It's over.
But now you have an accomplishment. That's the same as me.
People who don't partake in adventurous things like hiking or climbing, running, or anything like that, their limits and their fears are way different and cannot be scaled the same.
I definitely agree. Well, guys, if you liked our episode today about fears and getting over those fears and consequence, you can like our video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and comment below if you have any opinions on things that we had opinions on that you didn't like. You can also email us. Give us an email at journeytalkspodcast. journeytalkspodcast@gmail.com. journeytalkpodcast@gmail.com. Sorry, our name on our Instagram is journeytalkpod.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting those mixed up a little bit.
You're getting it.
I'm getting it.
It's going. We'll link all of our social media pages down below so that you can follow us and give us some love. Please.
And some feedback.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
So you'll hear from us next week on Wednesday. So stay tuned and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.